Welcome back to the LuxAlgo live stream. My name is Jacob, and we are back yet again. Hope you guys had a lovely long weekend. Obviously, markets were closed yesterday, but coming into today, really strong volume in the markets. Welcome back. For those of you asking, when is the stream going to start? When you see that opening screen, you will see a clock to the left on the monitor that counts down. It's about a 5-minute intro there to make sure people join up in time to reach the beginning. But thanks for tuning in, guys. It's good to have everybody back here. I was going to see if we had anybody that we were seeing back in the chat. But if you are new here, we welcome you. We're going to get into some charts here in about 9 minutes. But overall, we're going to look at some news, kind of what went down over the weekend. Obviously, Bitcoin is down from its high after the ETFs from last week. We do have, looks like we have some people that's back. Tommy, welcome back, my friend. Guys, if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. We go live now every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 p.m. Eastern. We will eventually add on to that, but let's get those likes up to 100 like we always talk about. Our goal per stream right now, 100 likes. Let's get it. So smash that like button. But other than that, guys, have some fun updates coming at you with the LuxAlgo indicators. We will go over that. And also some fun updates on the stream as well. For now, though, looking into the news, of course, this week for the U.S. side of things, we had retail sales coming out tomorrow. So stay tuned at 8:30 tomorrow for that, 8:30 Eastern, of course. Today, nothing crazy. We had the Fed talk just looks like 2 hours ago. I don't think we had much of a reaction to that. We can look at that here in just a second. And then on Thursday, we have the Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index, as well as crude oil inventories like always. And then going into Friday, we have existing home sales and some big numbers to pay attention to on Friday at 10 a.m. So be on the lookout for that news. But overall, how's everybody been? It's been quite an eventful trading session on Bitcoin through the weekend. Obviously, we sold off once again, like we said, back to the low 40s. Hopefully, we're holding. Hopefully, we're going to hold that, praying that we do. But overall, market is very extended, obviously, on the daily. Edward, welcome back, my friend. We have some fun, exciting things coming into the stream as well. And you know what? While we're talking about it, let me introduce you guys to our new addition to the stream, the Wheel of Analysis. So what we're going to do with this wheel here, as you can see, I'm right here. We could spin it. But in this case, you guys are going to give suggestions here in just a sec on what you want to be analyzed. And I'm going to write it on this board. And then when we go about going over your specific tickers, we will spin the wheel and make sure that we go over exactly which one it lands on. So we'll see here in just a sec. We'll take your suggestions. We'll load up the wheel, and those are the 12 ones that we'll end up going over. Hopefully they all hit. We'll figure that out as we go. But a new little fun addition to the stream, and we're going to continue to add fun stuff like that. So get ready. It's going to be a lot of fun. But in this case, I was going to look over some other news that Watch Guru might have posted. Again, guys, if you aren't following our Twitter, I would highly suggest to follow our Twitter at LuxAlgo. We do post analysis on there every single day, quite a few times a day. So we might end up posting the ticker that you want, key analysis on that you can touch back on for the day. But if you go on there, you'll see like NVIDIA today, we posted the 1 hour chart, as well as like Bitcoin, what we're looking at, HD stuff we're essentially keeping track of in the market to make sure that we are, keeping you up to date with the current market trends and stuff. But as you know, if you aren't familiar, we have become a Pine Wizard this year on TradingView, which is a huge achievement for the LuxAlgo team. So great job, LuxAlgo. Happy to be, and thank you, TradingView, honestly. Happy to be a part of that and contribute to the amazing community over on TradingView. Look at Mickey showcasing himself on the LuxAlgo page, but go follow the LuxAlgo Twitter. It's in the description, or just search at LuxAlgo, and you'll be updated daily on kind of what we're looking at in the markets. Like the S&P 500, we're predicting a possible sell-off from this level, and today for the S&P 500, we are down. We were down, I think, nearly 1.5%. So great analysis on there. But welcome back, guys. For those of you that are starting to join up, smash that like button. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe, and we're going to continue to do this every Tuesday and Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern. As I say that, guys, right now, drop your suggestions of what you want to be analyzed in my charting segment here in just a second. Near the end, the last 30 minutes, we will go over any single ones that go on the wheel of analysis. We're going to put that on there right now. So post in the chat what you would like to see analyzed, and I will write it on the board. First up is Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is going up first. BTC. And my writing's probably going to be horrible. Solana, you know it. Solana going up. Sol. We got Boeing on the board. We got gold, definitely gold. Mover, MOVR, that's on there. Wait, I already put your, wait, no, I didn't. Mover. All right, Mover. MOVR. That's not a very good V. It looks like a U. In this case, we got Doge and BA and gold. Gonna put that. All right. BA. We got gold. What else we got? What else we got? What else we got? You guys got Doge and Ethereum. All right. Doge. Doge. Excuse my terrible handwriting. We got 3 slots left. What do we got here? We got 3 slots. I want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. Is Rabbit something that we should look at? I don't really know. Is Rabbit an actual thing? Like, are there people trading rabbits or something? Gold again. 2 golds. That'd be funny. Litecoin. Let me see here. Let's see. We got EURUSD. Didn't put that. The Euro / USD. All right, we got 2 slots left. Let's see. We got natural gas. Let me see what else we got. Gold was suggested. BA is on the board. What else? Natural gas. NG. NG. I like it. I like it. NG for natural gas. I need to make sure that's a V. Hold up. Mover. Let me see here. US oil. Let me see. Chain link. All right, for the last slot, whoever gets the most comments on a specific ticker will go over. Last slot. It's on suggestion. Of course, we're going to go over CL and stuff on the overall chart, but last suggestion, hit it in there. Got the NASDAQ. I need more. I need more. Which one's going on? NAS 100 seems like it'd be the one. So far, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 people. 1 NAS. We'll probably touch on more. Don't worry. I will put NQ on there. And then we'll just say 100 because it's technically the same thing. But there you go. The wheel of analysis has been filled. And we will touch on those here in just a segment in the charting segment of the stream. Now, those are going to start with, you know, what we're actually going to analyze as I go over some Bitcoin charts, all that. But in this case, we will start with that here in about 2 minutes. But I did want to touch real quick on some news coming in. Obviously, we've been seeing the interesting thing here with the ETFs. I was going to check in if there's any important news that came out while we've just now jumped in stream. But overall, I will, in just a second, we're going to go over the new updates for the LuxAlgo indicators that we just released. Make sure to update your indicators, by the way. Let me do NVIDIA. But we will fill the board as we... So... in the time frame that we do the wheel of analysis, when we get rid of one, we will fill it with another one. So that's how we'll do it, actually. That's a better way to do it. Obviously, it's a new segment that we're going about. So in a second, when we delete one after we've analyzed it, we're going to go over another one. But of course, obviously, with Bitcoin, we'll probably go over more than once. But in this case, let's just go ahead and dive into the new features we're providing here at LuxAlgo. And that is starting with, and as you'll see now, we have the wheel of analysis right here on the right side of your screen. And we'll spin it here in just a sec to go over our first asset. But for now, guys, make sure you update your price action concepts and signals and overlays and oscillator matrix. Right now, we have signals and overlays version 6.3. But let me go over price action concepts 1.5. In this case, we do have a new feature called the pattern zones. Okay, this literally, instead of just pattern lines, like you'll see here in a sec, we have pattern zones. So in this case, the pattern zones, for support and resistance lines with pattern detection, and updated styling for greater ease of use trading automated patterns. So it is an optional thing. There's also an alert for it that you can add for the alerts. So make sure to update for that. That's the only thing on the price action concepts. The new thing on the signals and overlays is the, let me double check here, the trend catcher filter. So the trend catcher filter obviously has to do with the trend catcher feature. This is probably, out of the trend tracer and trend catcher, this is my favorite. Essentially, it's going to filter the signals based on the current state of the trend catcher. So you won't get any sell signals alongside, or you won't get any bearish signals alongside a bullish trend catcher. And then let me see, and then alert function added for that as well. And then also for the oscillator matrix, just a minor update on this. We have 6.4 here. Added money flow and hyperwave toggles to disable all elements associated with the feature. I kind of like this because it allows you to, boom, if I click show hyperwave, it gets rid of the whole thing rather than having to delete, like add the coloring and go in through and just get rid of it all. You just one click and you're out, right? Oh, stay on that page, which is really nice. So these two are now added. And also, let me see. I think that's it. Add any alert function call message field as well. So you can also set that up too for that as well. So let's get into the charts, guys. First spin of the day. Here we go. What is our first? It's SALANA. Let's get into SALANA. Great one to start with, of course. Off of the weekend with some low volatility, of course. But for now, let's hop in here. I want to make sure that we get up the let's start with the weekly chart, something that I've been eyeing for quite a while. But on the weekly, let me go ahead and reset my order blocks and stuff here. Get rid of the let me get my setup. Let me get rid of the patterns for now. But in this case, we can go ahead and go over what we're looking at. Now, SALANA obviously has had a very aggressive pump for a while. In this case, on the weekly chart, we talked about this upper order block that we've been watching, which is at that 135 level, as low as 126. Low 126s, sorry, into 125. As you can see, we hit a high of, and if I could, let me bring that up. Sorry, boom. We did hit a high there of 126.35. So again, you ever see the targets? You ever see price touch? Especially long-term order blocks, it's always a good sign that we might, at least take profit there, consider a area of resistance. That's exactly what we got. On SALANA right now, I really do like the support it's getting after it tried to fill this imbalance. If we dive into the daily chart, which is going to look at, in this case, I'm actually going to pull up my favorite features, which is Neo Cloud, and kind of take a look at where we're at. Let me adjust my sensitivity to optimal. But for now, this is what we talked about in the last streams too. And it is the current state of, sorry, I have this on. It is the current state of the Neo Cloud, right? And price reacting to the Neo Cloud. So in this case right now on SALANA, we have a lower highs being set several times on the daily. We're filling imbalances and showing support. As you can see now, we have fully hit a higher low, which is a good sign. Let's see if that was a confirmed higher low real quick. I don't know if it's fully confirmed. Let's see, internal higher low. Let's see if that was confirmed yet. Not yet. There was one that was confirmed here when it had support and it broke below it. That's why you got that change of character. But for now, no confirmed higher low here just yet. But in this case, again, I'm sitting on my hands at this trading level. Now, if you were to, take a position like a short swing off the 92s or something, it's probably, that would be the level in which it'd be worth a purchase. But in my opinion, coming off of this big move here, if we were to pull its recent swing point on a Fibonacci, you'll see the support nearly line up perfectly at the 50% retracement, which is a good sign so far for support to be holding, right? So I'm going to go back actually one more zoom. But in this case, now we need a new break of structure to the upside. We have a bearish Neo Cloud, which I don't like. We need to clear the 104 like we talked about before I'm actually bullish. So in that case, 104 is the level I would be looking at for a continuation to the upside. Now, if we're talking on the 4 hour, similar situation. This is something we discussed in the last stream. We saw several times setting lower highs after it broke the Neo. So seeing this happen again, not really in the mood for this thing going any higher at the moment. We need to now, we're starting to get, what's nice though, these lower highs that are forming at better value prices to be trading off of. So in this case, since we have an order block here sitting at 1.04 million in volume, if we can clear the 105 and then turn that into a breaker block, essentially what that means is just breaking through that and then coming back, finding support, then in that case, that is something I would consider a long entry for a nice swing, especially on a 4-hour. If you think about it, in this case, more than likely, price, if it were to break out of that, it's going to go test that swing high that it clearly rejected perfectly off of. It's going to probably test that and then come off of that. If we were to take this like that and then say it's going to break out, let's grab a Fibonacci from that swing point that's going to line up with, and look what lines up here. You start hitting the golden pocket at the exact resistance point in which it might have at the 50% level. If we were to say it rejects that same high up there at 117.20 that we had before back, early January, same thing here. Look at it even line up better now. It's lining up near the 50% retracement. So overall on Solana here, looks really good if we get that break of structure or get that change of character there to the upside. Now, since we're still in a bearish trend and we just had a bearish break of structure to the downside, I'm not too bullish on it until we see that structure change. But for the downside type move, similar situation where you're setting lower highs, this is the first level you're going to want to watch is right here is 99. Honestly, $100 psychological level, right? So the $100 level, something I would really want to focus on right now, short term with Solana. If it does reject and right here, which is already showing resistance, you'll notice it is forming a small little trend to the downside, which I'm not a huge fan of. But the biggest part I really do like is that we did not set a lower low, right? So this could be a consolidation zone, something we're setting up for a move to the upside. But I need to see that break to the downside or the upside right now. It's something that this is what you want to see, and why the Neo Cloud is so helpful too is you want to see structure get broken, something like this, especially when it comes into a range. If it's trading inside the Neo Cloud, it's not something I would ever want to consider a trade until we get a clear break. And as you can see, when we got that clear break there to the upside, we had a very nice pump. And then in this zone could have also been a great trade because it's sitting above that Neo Cloud. So for now, because it's been trading through the Neo, this is a sit on your hands type situation, and you just want to wait and be patient, right? So for Solana, again, if you want actual price points in which to consider looking longs and shorts, I want to look long for longs over 103 probably, essentially 107 when it breaks like I showed you. But in this case, getting out of that Neo Cloud, the short side is going to be below the 91. Now we need to set a lower low or retest that low if we actually want to go lower. So for that, Solana is off the board, which we're going to take right now. Sold off the board. What are we doing next? Let's see. Bitcoin. Beautiful. Bitcoin is up. Gotta love us some Bitcoin. Might as well take it off the board right away. Bitcoin, where you at? Bitcoin is off the board. It was on Bitcoin. So, you know what? I should probably take it off after I analyze it, but it's all good. We're figuring this out together. Guys, if you're new here, welcome to the stream. Make sure to hit that like button. Let's get up to 100 likes. Like always, that's our daily goal. And also subscribe because we're going to be doing fun new things coming up. We got Mickey coming in about 50 minutes here. But for now, Bitcoin is up after its major sell-off, as you can see here. So right now, I am pretty bearish on Bitcoin at the moment. We are in a nice consolidation zone, but let's go to that weekly chart because the weekly is trying to recover, right? Yeah, so Jockey with the news 100%. That could move Solana through that high. So again, always pay attention to the news too. That's always a major thing to focus on, especially if you're trading any asset. You definitely want to look for the news that does come out. In this case, Bitcoin though, and give me 2 seconds. There we go. Make sure I have my news feed up just in case something hits. But in this case, here you go. This is a big reason why we talk about having the price action concepts order blocks up, because again, you want to take these order blocks seriously, right? So in this case, this order block sitting up here at 47,000 is a really good spot in which we saw a rejection, right? So again, we price extremely extended, guys. It's been extended on the weekly, okay? It makes sense. We talked about this several times. And in this case now, with the NeoCloud flipping on a weekly, if we were to take a fib again, you can see where the 50% retracement lines up. And it is sitting roughly below 38,000. But guess what? Top of the NeoCloud. What we talk about with the NeoCloud is we don't like to trade in it. We like to trade outside of it, especially with trends. If in a trend you see it aggressively trading outside the NeoCloud, this is something in which you consider it's a strong trend. So right now, strong bullish trend. But what has to happen for a trend to continue higher? It does need to kind of come off of these big pumps and then settle and then continue again. So for now, in the short term, I'm not too bullish on Bitcoin. I do think a retracement is due. Like we said, if we were to even pull that Fibonacci yet again, that 50% retracement is sitting below 40K, around 37. So right at the top of that NeoCloud. So that's another reason why NeoCloud is great, because technically you don't have to use a fib if you don't want to. It's kind of already printed for you. But in this case, what we're looking for is a come off of that level, hitting that 38,000, maybe a little bit lower. But for now, let's look at the daily. Daily chart is not too bad, right? The daily for a shorter term type move, I do like the support it's trying to hold here in the 40s. Obviously 40K, super strong mark. What's really good to see is actually seeing that NeoCloud step up, but also finding support on that bullish order block, right? Coming off the lows here. So this zone, very nice. The NeoCloud hasn't stepped down yet, which looks something like this. See it step down. NeoCloud has not stepped down yet. So in the daily time frame, it's not something I'm just going to consider getting out of just yet until we get that full-on break. And you can see where we talked about that 50% retracement kind of lines up with these previous highs that it struggled at and then blew through, right? So for now, it's not too bullish, I would say, just because you can tell it's retesting a higher low. In that case, more than likely we get a lower high, so we get something where it comes up and then drops down. But if it exits out pretty aggressively out of this NeoCloud here at 44,000, I do like it quite a bit. So we'll see if it can get through that. You do have a pretty aggressive imbalance here, right? Fair value gap, and we can actually see that if let me take off signals and overlays, and you can see our fair value gaps here. Boom. Very strong fair value gap threshold, right? So in this case, coming into that, right, 50% of the way obviously is 44, let's say that 44,400, 444, which is great. And that's also lining up with the other highs. So if that were to retrace there and actually show a rejection, more than likely you're going to get that lower high. You're going to come retest the lows again. And like we talked about on the weekly, it might come back down and reset, right? So in this case, not very bullish on this. You can also see the top of the NeoCloud lining up with that fair value gap. So short term, I am a little bearish on Bitcoin. Now let's dive into the 4 hour though. Short term, as in the daily chart, that isn't considered short term for you. Then let's go to the day or to the 4 hour. Look at it, and this is another reason why I am bearish on the daily. Right, we have strong bearish candles now that are forming from the signals and overlays indicator. I'm going to go ahead and take off the fair value gaps for now. But we do have strong bearish candles forming, and we're trading outside of a bearish NeoCloud. I consider that a stronger bearish trend here on Bitcoin, especially after the sell-off. So if I were to consider a long at all in Bitcoin, we need to get up over that bearish NeoCloud here on the 4 hour, which is sitting around 44,200. But notice that's going to line up with these highs if that were to happen. So if it lines up with these highs here and rejects it, then more than likely you're probably going to see at least a retest of this lower order block around 40K. But for now, short term 4 hour Bitcoin, I am bearish so long as it's holding below this bearish NeoCloud. So really big thing there for sure. If we dive in even lower, I'm not going to go lower than the 1 hour. You can see we're pretty much chopping here. But again, bearish NeoCloud is continuing to step down and bounce a bit off this lower order block here that it's bounced at before. So that's a good sign for very, 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 very short term. So intraday type trading, not terrible, but it is trading in a small range, which I'm not a big fan of. So long-term wise, sorry, not long-term, but like a short-term period on the weekly, a few weeks out, I would say I'm bearish for the time being. But again, it's because we had this massive run, right? Where everything's showing that we're overbought at these levels. But again, if price were to settle off from the 40K and it breaks out, then we'll flip our decision on that. But for now, this is nothing I would short nor I would long, because we're still stuck, right? We're still stuck where we are. We need to see that structure change on a daily chart. If we were, or sorry, that's on a daily. On a 4-hour chart here, it's like if I'm predicting a move into, let's say, the end of this week, yeah, I think there's a higher probability of it going down, retesting 42,000 versus breaking out. But again, I would have to see a clear setup here. And you can see even on the oscillator matrix, the money flow very strong on the bear side. I do, for a bull case, I do like that price extended down here. But I don't like that this is the first time that it extended and now it's rallying back up, right? So because it's coming off of this, that was a lovely divergence. Look at this divergence here. Because it came off of that, lovely divergence, peaked, came off. Beautiful divergence there on the oscillator matrix. But set lower high, right? Something we like to look for into strong bearish money flow. So nothing I wouldn't say buy here. I would say it's probably in the short term going a little bit lower. 40K could be the magic number, 100%. Like it, I do like the odds of 40K hitting before we get back to 45, 50. But if that structure breaks, right? We said 44,000. If it gets over 44,000, I will look to the long side for sure. But for now, as long as it's below this bearish neo cloud, definitely going on to the short side. All right, guys, let's go on to our next asset from your suggestions, and that is the NQ. Dang, I hit the one right next to Bitcoin. All right, let's go to the NQ. And then we will spin again. And we'll add more so long as we go through I'm going to look at, for those of you that mentioned the NQ, the NASDAQ, do you want NAS 100 or do you want me to look at the E-mini futures? It's pretty much the same thing, or it's actually the exact same thing. But I know some of you probably like it on a certain exchange, like a Forex exchange, like Black Bull or something, or Pepperstone. Would you rather on Pepperstone, I mean, you can see 16,808. It's the exact same chart. 16,944. It's just the pricing's a little different. So real quick, for those of you that want NAS 100, just let me know if you rather NAS 100 or NASDAQ future, or does it matter, honestly. I'll give you 26 seconds to respond. Otherwise, I'm looking at the future. For the time being, thanks for tuning in, guys. Make sure to hit that like button. We are 40 away from the 100 like goal. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe, guys, because we're live every single Tuesday and Thursday. NQ futures. All right, futures it is. Cool. All right. NAS 100 futures. Let's look in the weekly, right? Because we hit all-time highs, right? We broke out, hit all-time highs. It's quite interesting, though. Right, so all-time highs here on the future. We're getting a bearish divergence on the oscillator matrix, right? But we're in a very aggressive uptrend. So in this case, it's similar to what we like to look for, especially when we get a break to all-time highs. And this is a weekly chart, so this is a little longer term. And obviously, quarter ones don't usually do the best, right? But look at this high here. You got that nice wick sitting up there. This is a range I would look for retracement in. Now, I do like the fact that it did bounce last week. Oh, I appreciate that, man. That's awesome. Hopefully, we provide some good information here. But I do like that we have bounced back from that sell-off of last week. This is something that is actually confirming that this level people want to buy at, which is quite impressive. As you can see here, if you can't read it, I'm going to go ahead and just take off signals and overlay so you can see. We had a bearish sell-off last week, but we got bought, or sorry, 2 weeks ago, but we got bought up last week, and now we're holding. Now, in this case, a lot of times when you see single bearish candles, then completely bought back, right, that is a good sign of a strong trend, right? Let me show an example here of something similar to that. Usually want to look for 2 to 3 candle pushback for stronger trends. In this case, NASDAQ tends to just see if this thing broke that structure there too. Here you go. This is a good example. So here's a good example. So long as it recovers that price entirely, it's usually a little bit stronger. But right here, see, it sold off. You had one bounce back to kind of reset, and then it sold off right through it, and then you set a new low. So we could see something similar to that. So on the weekly time frame, long-term wise, if you're a swinger, like kind of I am, that 1631, the low that we got 2 weeks ago, 16334 here on the futures. If you're on, any of the Forex and you're trading NASDAQ 100, obviously that low is gonna be a little bit different. But again, 2 weeks ago, that low is something I would really watch right now. Okay. Now, we do have a bearish divergence that has formed on the weekly. So in this case, we're a little back and forth. But for now, I will say I'm a little more bullish. We do have some strong bullish money flow that's continuing to peak here. So long as price is not aggressively getting back to those lows, it's definitely still a bull case, in my opinion. You can see here, obviously, we're trading way above the Neo Cloud. It's a bull sign to me. We have very strong bullish confluence, which is this bright blue, this bright green here. And we have strong bullish candles. And we're holding over the all-time high. So in this case, there's no reason to be looking short. You want to go short when it shows you it's an opportunity to go short. Cyrox, in my opinion, I'm long-term, man. I'll hold a week. If I'm doing like shorter-term swings, it's at least a month. You're gonna see way better returns in my actual opinion as a trader when you're analyzing high time frames and you can give it time for the trade to play out. Shorter time frames you can be successful doing, but you're way more at risk to getting emotional on short term, right? When you do long term, you have time to get into a trade, you have time to think about your analysis, and then you have time to execute a trade, you have time to let the trade play out in your favor. Right, it's a lot easier to kind of manage your risk in that way too, and your emotions. But for the daily, the NASDAQ, let's take, oh, that's the wrong thing. Daily on the NASDAQ, let's take a look. So here you go. This is something we talked about where we like to see it retest and then break back out, right? In this case, it retests. You had another close here. That as well. Fees can really hurt for sure. In this case, on the daily chart, it's trying to set a lower high, which obviously is a bearish sign. We are trying to set a lower high on the oscillator as well. So possibly here on the short term, like we talked about, we are sitting in purple candles though. Purple candles is a sign of indecisiveness, something in which I'm not, a huge fan of, especially at the start of a trend, because we don't know if this is going to downtrend or this is just going to flag and then break back out, right? So because this is still in an uptrend, this is something I'm not going to, my number one rule as a trader is don't fight the trend. It's probably one of the best things that you could even consider is identifying the trend, which is we're in an uptrend. We're setting a higher low here, set a higher low here. And right now we might be setting a lower high, but we don't know that until we break that structure, right? So structure has to break this low that we just set, that higher low. So in that case, if that were to happen, then I would consider a short. So 16,344, I would just say the low of this previous higher low in the daily, which is something you guys will probably see differently on other charts, especially if you trade like the Forex, NASDAQ 100. In that case, 16, this low here for us on the futures would be something I would watch. For now, though, right? We can see that, we pretty much filled this imbalance on this bearish candle. Now, again, I'll take this off so you can see it. But we filled that imbalance there that formed on this sell-off back on January 2nd. And, had a pretty decent sell-off. But it is still holding above that previous high. So right now, like I said already, I'm still bullish in the shorter term. Longer term, I want to wait till it breaks down on that weekly. But for now, if this thing can continue to set up roughly around this short-term higher low, because you see this one candle bought back that it broke out, We got that on the weekly. We have the one candle bought back that broke out. We had a whole bearish week there. Could be a rough continuation. Honestly, if we were to just even, let's see here, it's like it broke down to the 618. I mean, it's from that previous resistance. I mean, we could even, let's line it up with this resistance here. Let's line up with this swing low. See if any of these levels kind of line up with each other. So there you go. I mean, you have the 5 and the 618 from both of those levels, from that breakout and from the recent swing point, lining up the 618 and the 5. So this is why I'm not bearish yet. I want to see bearish structure happen. So we need a break of this low before considering any bear run. 4 hour shows you that, a little more day trading in here. Here you go. This is perfect. Something that's even better, right, for the bull case. Better bull case happening at the moment. We do have a the only thing I don't like is that this broke out quite aggressively, right? Yeah, guys, let's get to 100. We're at 71 likes. We have a little less than 30 to go, 29 to be exact. Let's get that up to 100 likes, guys. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. We're live every Tuesday and Thursday. I'm going to get through this analysis real quick because I know we have about 30 minutes left. But, we'll do the wheel with Mickey as well if I don't touch on everything. But in this case, I don't like how big that move was, right? Because look what happens if this were to actually retrace to have a 50% retracement. It comes back to a pretty bearish state, even based on the NEO. So for now, I am a little bullish just because, or in the 4-hour chart, I am more bullish than I would be bearish because we're holding above the NEO, and it did flip recently. So I would only, though, consider a trade if it breaks over 17,000. Honestly, just said it there, 17,000. Otherwise, daily chart, I'm not concerned either way right now. I'm more bullish than bearish. Weekly chart, I'm a lot more bullish than I am bearish. So that's kind of what we're looking at on the NASDAQ 100. Let's go to our next asset. Let's see what we got. Boom, we got the Euro USD. Let's go. Wait, I gotta wipe down. Hold up. I gotta take off the NASDAQ 100. All right. NASDAQ 100 or Euro USD is up. Let's do it. Euro USD. And we got a Wanda. Look at that one. All right. Let's do the daily on the Euro USD because I know a lot of you probably short-term trade this more than long-term. But again, number one rule, like we've talked about, is don't fight the trend, right? Don't fight the trend. Right now, we're in a continued bullish trend. The bullish trend has continued. This sell-off at the moment, though, I'm not a huge fan of because watch. Sure, we're still in a bullish trend, but we've kind of just broken below it, right? But still, like I talked about, this is where, this is a state in which, we don't exactly know if it's fully going to break down or it's just trying to collect liquidity to go higher, right? Especially on the euro. Now, obviously, euro moves a lot on news, so we got the new home sales coming out this week. I want to check our news too, make sure we're not missing anything. We got the new home sales coming out this week on. Existing home sales coming out on Friday, and then wait, I think Thursday we do. No, building permits on Thursday. So that could affect it as well. But in this case, for the euro, we are selling out quite aggressively. We're trying to get a bearish change of character. But notice what we're inside of. We're inside of this bullish order block here, and that did nothing. Hold on, sorry. Not an order block. Bullish Neo Cloud. We're feeling some imbalances to the downside, right? But this retracement is pretty good, actually. Pretty decent retracement from its recent swing, right? We're breaking through the 618 though. So, that's why if it's ever inside that Neo, I'm not very bullish or bearish. I want to see which direction it wants to take. This is for the daily on the euro. This euro went up, kind of rejected some previous resistance, right? If we go to the 4-hour, we set a lower high. And here you go. That's why we like the Neo Cloud so much. In this case, you know, bearish change character rejects the Neo several times. Now it just broke that low. So right now, 4-hour target is definitely this 107.8 level. I would just say 1.08 would probably be your best bet for now. It's the start of that order block because it just created a lower low here on this current nearly intraday trend. Obviously, this is trading from last Thursday from this trend, but here you go. Proper trend structure. We follow the Neo. We target order blocks. Pretty much what I look for, and it does pretty well. In this case, structure is properly moving right now. Euro bearish 108, 1.08 is what I would look for. On to the next one. What we got? What we got? What we got? Oh, it went back to the BA. Nice. We were looking at MOVR, but it went to the BA. So to the BA chart. Let's look. Get rid of the euro. Yeah, I should have got this one. Spears it. All right. On to BA. We'll start filling those spaces maybe with Mickey. Wow. Okay. BA. What a sell-off. What a sell-off on BA. Okay. Obviously, why did it sell off? Well, because, you know, just so happened that a airplane window blew out on one of the new Boeing planes, which is honestly terrifying. Especially if you're scared of flying. In this case, guys, we're at 83 likes. Come on. Let's get it up there. Get it up to 100. We're almost there. But in this case, Boeing, man, not a terrible short to take after that news, because waterfall effect is in occurrence. I was going to see, I'm sure some of you are short, especially the person that mentioned Boeing. I mean, just from that gap down, like from that news here, it was already kind of selling off 19%. That would be a nice payday on BA here. But let's take a look at the 4-hour. Obviously, on the on the oscillator matrix, super strong bearish overflow, right? When we see that bearish overflow, we know it's very aggressive trend. This is very news driven in this case. For now, if we were to crank up, you know, the amount of order blocks we have here, there you go. That works. Sorry there. Here are your two levels right now to target. 190, and then obviously my biggest target would be the 178 down that swing low. On the daily though, I mean, wow, look at these gaps. This is insane. Where's price gonna settle, right? If we were to pull up, you know, we've talked about this before, a way you can identify maybe a little bit of price settling, because this is more of a news driven type thing. We want to go to our visual range and then kind of crank it back a bit here and see, right? So in this case, wow, it actually blew through its port of control there already. If we were to look at just the current swing as well, you'll see it actually also blew through the current, just because of this crazy price action in April through, or all summer really, on BA. It didn't really go anywhere. Let's look at this state where we're heading next. So this is, wow. So yeah, it makes sense. Breaking through this lower liquidity going through because of this strong trend that it had recently. Now it's selling back down. You had a lot of liquidity that was trading through here, which I'm actually kind of surprised that it blew through here without any trading activity. That's meaning news is pretty much driving this entire thing, which makes sense because a window blew out of a plane. But in this case, you know, you have roughly a nice support that it had before in the 195s. At some point, people are going to have to cover short positions. It's seeming as if 195 down to 180. I would say between 190 and 180 would be a good price to take profit. But this is very bearish on a news post more than anything. But for now, BA, man. Tumble. On to the next one. Give me something good. Give me something good. Again. No! You got me. There you go. Natural gas. Boom. We hit it. All right. NG. Natural gas. Getting in it. Let's go. We got about 24 minutes here. Then we're going to bring Mickey on. We're going to look at some more charts with him. And, you know, we'll just play around a little bit. Let me see here. Sorry. We just got to. All right. Natural gas. So natural gas daily been in a quite an aggressive range. Obviously, you can see here it's been just selling off like crazy, and it finally kind of settled in between $2 at the lows and $3.61 at from its recent run here on the daily. The Neo Cloud, it had such a bearish trend. The Neo's kind of just trying to calculate all this price action happening with no real moves. In this case, you can see here on the daily, I mean, price pretty much extended, and now it had a turning point at this high, and it's coming off of that. It's like pretty much price is starting to reset. Now, in this particular move, I would say you have a downside of 2.814 right now on natural gas. You can see too what lines up close to that is this higher low that it set before it broke out back in November, which was right here at 286.2. So you can pay attention to that. I will say, obviously, a big cold front came through the entire nation. You can trade natural gas based on the weather, and so when people are using more gas, the demand for it goes up, so the price is going to also go up. In this case, with the weather kind of being a little crazy, probably coming off, this was probably all from the cold front. Now it's coming back off, resetting. But see here, pay attention to the weather patterns. You can trade it based on actual support and resistance on top of that as well to kind of help you guide your trading. For the 4 hour on this, you have a lower high that's pretty much set. You're getting a change of character. We pull up the Neo, you see the Neo step down. So very bearish on this nat gas in the short term for sure. Again, price point in which to watch would probably be where these highs and lows meet, highs and higher lows meet, which would be right here. And in this case, I need to just turn this sucker to, let's do white, and then bring it down, way down. There you go. Middle line, that's sick. That's new. Okay, cool. Or new to me. Maybe I'm just dumb. Okay. In this case, here you go. You have this little high and low range in which they met. You have a higher low sitting here. You have highs sitting there. You have a little bit of a range there with some decent volume that's been traded. So it's a good spot to target first before targeting a swing order block for sure. But for now, yeah, I just think pay attention to that weather. And then nat gas, I think we're bearish, especially with this 4 hour change of character we just got for the time being. Broke that low. Obviously, the market can do what it wants. It could break back up, but for now, you definitely have a higher probability on this moving lower than you do have it moving higher. And then a higher low on the daily as well. So nat gas, definitely bearish at the moment. So that is it for nat gas. Take nat gas and BA off the board. Oh. Let's see if we can get lucky with one spin on this sucker. Bam. Gold. We've been waiting for gold. I know a lot of you have been waiting for gold. Let's get into gold. Guys, we're 10 likes away from our $100 goal. $100 goal. Goodness gracious. We're 10 likes away from our 100 like goal. Sorry. So hit that like button and make sure to subscribe, guys. We are live every Tuesday and Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to continue to be live. In this case, gold is up. Take a look at gold here. GC. Gold future. I'm going to actually pull up, though, the actual gold pair. I mean, it's going to be a similar chart. I know a lot of you want the gold pair. And here you go. This is why I'm not a big fan of fighting necessarily what trend we see. Now, this could be setting up for a bullish run here soon. But bearish, especially on the 4 hour. But look at what you can see technically here. Is if, I mean, this would be a very wide head and shoulders. But in this case, you do have the head here, and then obviously it's inverse. But you have the shoulder here. You would have a head if it can kind of find a higher low somewhere right here. So with this sell-off in its current state, not a huge fan for a bullish run just yet, obviously. Daily or the 4 hour bearish, and then look, what do you see here though? You actually see a head and shoulders, not an inverse, obviously. But you have that head, you have that shoulder, you have the shoulder and your shoulder. So in this case, pretty bearish here on the daily for gold in the current state. Obviously, we have flipped to purple and we were in a bullish trend. It still could consider that trend active. But so what I want to see is I want to break below, let's just say 2010. So 2010. Great year. Great music. But break below 2010 is where I'm looking very bearish for now. Still in that bullish trend on the upside for the daily chart, right? So in this case, it's something you want to probably wait for on the daily. So for gold right now, you can even see where it's at. So you just blew through that retracement level. It had a bearish neo, so like I said, you don't necessarily want to trade this to the upside, right? If that bearish neo is still sitting strong. So what you want to see is when these things flip, right? This is exactly what you want to see. You see a pump or whatever, a break through it. You want to see that flip, and you want to see support kind of form on it. And then you want to see higher lows continue, and then you ride it to what would be another order block, which would have been sitting, you know, there was one here, and then there's one all the way up there because of this massive spike. But again, this is your body close swing high, and look what happened. Try to draw that line. Bam. Hit it to a T on gold there. To a T. When you see that hit perfectly and it rejects, I mean, look at that. Lower high, breaks down, rejects, breaks down, rejects, out, down. Man, beautiful. So we'll see if it actually wants to hold up here or not. I mean, if you wanted to look to see alongside inverse head and shoulders 2020, like we talked about before, is that level in which we want to price to hold. But if it breaks through 2010, this thing's probably going to hit the 1980s again. We have this massive imbalance, right? And we found support on this imbalance, but it failed. It failed its breakout. Found support on this massive imbalance here at these lows. Had a nice breakout like we talked about on Thursday. We had that lovely breakout if you traded it, actually. But now broke back down into this imbalance. Got a lot of leftover liquidity probably sitting there. So pay attention to that, and we can continue from there. But in this case, not too bad. Gold off the board. We got about 17 minutes here. What we got next? What we got next? Oh, almost Doge. Almost mover. One more time. If this doesn't hit, then we're just going to go with whatever closest. That way we don't have to just sit here and wait. All right. Looks like ETH was up. ETH. The Ethereum. Ethereum is the closer one. I'll put bam. Ethereum. And then we'll look at MOVR and Doge. For you gents. Ethereum, probably my favorite right now out of crypto in general. Really like Ethereum, where it's at, where it's been, and how it's doing. In this case, as you can see here, this is exactly what we were just talking about. We're inside that Neo. We broke out, right? Or we're trying to break out in this case. Found lovely support off of this run. This is the 4-hour, right? We retraced lovely into the 382, into this golden range, which we like to watch for support, and we're outside of it now. The Neo hasn't stepped down. It hasn't stepped up. So for now, definitely leaning more bullish than anything. Nice little reset here on the 4-hour. I would like to get through 2,500, 2,600 would be a good price point. This is a hold, in my opinion, at this state, just based on where it's at. If we go to the daily, same type of situation. The best part about this is that we have a very nice little tiny bull flag forming here. You have a lower low, lower high, right? Little tiny bull flag. If we get a nice aggressive pop, this thing more than likely is probably going to go rally to this upper order block here, which would be awesome. 3K is definitely a big target that I have in mind personally. You can even see here we have the lows just continuing to be higher here on the oscillator. The money flow is fading out, but look, it was holding above the Neo. Holding above the Neo still. Money flow is starting to increase a bit here. See it starting to peak back up. So if that money flow stays strong, we get a nice pop. This thing more than likely should have a really fun run, I think, to the 3,000 mark here soon. We're hoping. Obviously, with Bitcoin, this is a similar run it had as well. right? Bitcoin was going up to that 3K mark for a long time, right? Or sorry, not the 3K mark. I was thinking about something else there. But Bitcoin, right, had its run all the way to its weekly swing, right? And rejected it, like we talked about earlier. But Ethereum, in this case, look at that. Ethereum in this case, see, it never ran up to that swing point, right? So, I mean, this is just, in my opinion, the beginning of where Ethereum could actually head. The 2,500 mark was something I was definitely watching a lot. But here on the daily, it looks really, really good for that continuation. So, really looking for that breakout here very soon, okay? All right. So, will MOVR, Ethereum off the board. Will MOVR or Doge be up next? Closest one looks like it's going to be Doge because it was coming up next. Might as well go to Doge. Last one will be MOVR. Doge. USD. Doge, man. What an asset to be trading. And here you go. This is what we look for once again. You got the bearish money flow showing strong bearish volume coming into that. It's not as aggressive as that bull side run. Change character formed on that daily. Lower highs, long, nice bearish candles. The one thing that would leave me out of this, though, is that NeoCloud. NeoCloud's still sitting bullish. Haven't had an aggressive downside move yet. But I will say Neo's a little different on these sometimes because of these trading ranges that forms. So this is a very long-term Neo. I could actually set the Neo down one more and we can look at it. There you go. Sometimes now we do allow the feature to be able to change the length of the indicator overlays here in the signals and overlays. So if you ever see, and I should have done that at natural gas, but if you ever see some crazy Neo clouds because, you know, that price hasn't really gotten out of a range in a while. And then in this case for Doge right now, as you can see, this is a way better looking kind of trend falling based on it breaking to the upside here. Had a nice run. Similar situation we're getting at the moment. I would want to see some aggressive selling happening though before considering anything. On the 4 hour though, let me dive in and let me bring this back up to default. 4 hour though, there you go. Had a lovely little break. Obviously, structure breaks, and this is pretty good. You had this, you know, higher low get broken, right? Did I do the Ethereum on hourly? We can look at hourly Ethereum here in a sec. We have what, 11 minutes? All right. But in this case, remember, structure broke, lower high, come back down. NeoCloud flips, reject. Great entry points, obviously, right here. Several rejects, low risk, easy 2 to 1, right? Reject there. I would have considered it after the fact. You know, take a short somewhere in this middle of that NeoCloud, above that high. If you would have gone 2 to 1, that hit pretty easily. But honestly, this thing busted down. You got 5 to 1 on that move to downside off of this big spike. You want me to turn the music off? Oh, you like? I mean, the music, I tried to have it very subtle, so it's not like obnoxious. But if it does get annoying, let me know, because the music we could turn off, honestly. But I just very low in the background. Hopefully I'm loud enough so it kind of drowns out a bit. We took a look at NQ and the CL. We did. We can look at it again here in a bit. Guys, we're 4 likes away from the 100 like mark. So hit that like button. Would love to get to that goal yet again. We're going to have Mickey here in about 10 minutes. Checking the news real fast. SALANA posted something. Let's see. Okay. In this case, though, for the Doge, I'm still very bearish, right? We were coming out of the 4 hour NeoCloud here. I'd probably wait to see this low get broken once again. But overall, like I said, on the daily chart looks really good for a down run. And you can just see based on it switching this Neo here to where it's calculating a little better. Looks really good, at least for a test of this order block. It already tested it once, right? So one more test and then it may be an upside move, but see price extended once on the oscillator. I would want to see it probably extend one more time before considering it going back up. Yeah, I saw a lot of BlackRock news today about them and the ETFs and people skeptical about what they're doing with it. In this case, though, last but not least, MOVR, whoever suggested that, get Doge off the board. Maybe we'll have Mickey do the wheel of analysis as well. We'll see. But we'll have Mickey here in just a second, guys. About 9 minutes until Mickey goes, and now let's take over MOVR. You know what? How long has it been trading on Binance? Wow, that's a hell of a pump. It's been trading a while on Binance. Cool. The food wheel, chicken dinner wheel. Let's dive into the 4-hour. All right. This chart is pretty ugly. This is pump and dump if I ever see one. Okay. Well, maybe. I don't necessarily. I know this has been trending a lot recently. Don't necessarily know why, but from an analysis standpoint, I mean, you're stuck in a tight range here. It's nothing I would consider selling nor buying unless you fully understand the technology behind this, right? It's a long-term hold, in my opinion. I mean, if you're holding from below $8 before it had this spike, just hold on tight. You do have a nice level. You had a nice take profit in the 40s, right? Can't really analyze this. You are correct. It's very tough to analyze something like this, especially after a pump. In this case, though, I'm glad it was the last one. But for now, you know, if you're like a 15-minute, I guess. Yeah, it's just rough, man. Downtrend, 15-minute, retest that low. If you get a higher low here, you might continue. But broke that low. Looks like it wants to go lower on 15-minute. Long-term, though, it's definitely a hold, especially if you believe in this tech behind it. I don't necessarily know the tech behind this, but this definitely, there was something very good that happened. Patrick, we can go over that actually here in just a second if you want. But if you go on the website, if you go on our YouTube channel, we do have a price at, but real quick, we do have a price action concepts video on the YouTube channel that will go over the order blocks for you. But guys, we hit 100 likes. Appreciate it. We hit our daily goal, which we like to get that 100 like mark. So I appreciate it. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe. We go live every Tuesday and Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Also, if you want to stay up to date with I need some water. I don't even have water up here. If you want to stay up to date with everything that's going on with us, make sure to follow our Twitter for sure. We post there daily, market updates, chart updates, things we're looking at every single day to kind of help you understand what's going on in the market, as well as we're trading daily together in the Discord. It's actually a free Discord. So join the Discord. The link is in the description of this live stream. And we're going to bring on our community manager here in a second, Mickey. He's in the Discord answering all y'all's questions, as well as kind of guiding you in the direction you need to be guided if you're considering any of the LuxAlgo indicators. Join that. All the links are in the description of this live stream. But let's take a look at ETH one more time. I know somebody mentioned Ethereum. Sorry. Get back. You said, GBP we can look at too. Ethereum. Somebody wanted Ethereum 1 hour, right? I spelled Ethereum wrong. Cryptos. Let's go 1 hour on Ethereum. I like that. Whoever mentioned Ethereum 1 hour, here you go. So this is actually really nice, and this is what I was talking about. Remember on the daily, we like it. We like the bullish setup on the daily and the 4 hour, and this is another indication that this thing's looking like it's ready to go. This is our bullish structure that just shifted, right? Shifted bullish structure. Look what lines up on the Fibonacci on a 50% retracement. It is these previous highs, which is a really good sign. This is what we wanted to see on Solana as well. You have the money flow that flipped bullish, which is really good. In this case, let's see if price does want to hold over these highs, right? These highs are 25.41 in my opinion. Yeah, not 2500. 25.41. 25.40s. Honestly, if it could hold 25.50s, that'd be fantastic. If it could hold that right now, I think you're looking really good. I don't like that it already rejected this order block, though. Not a huge fan of that. But if it does set up here, which it looks good, the structure is proper, right? Then the breakout through that is perfect. Like we said, though, on the daily chart. So the 25.40 right now is what we're looking for. Daily chart looks very, very good for a continuation. Well, we said that we're targeting 3K. 3K is a really big target right now for me. And I think if we break through this high, we'll get very close. Get a nice pump through that. But we have 4 minutes here, and then we're going to bring Mickey on. Let me take off MOVR here. Brad, welcome back. Guys, if you've been here before, welcome back. We appreciate you being here. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks for subscribing. We introduced the new wheel of analysis, where at the beginning of each of the streams, we take your suggestions, we put it on the board, and then we analyze accordingly as we spin it. But we'll probably use that for a lot more things, like giveaways coming up too. But we wanted to introduce it today as a fun little addition to the live stream. But for now, let's dive in. I know, Edward, I know you want Amazon 4 hour. You've been asking for it quite a bit, so I guess we'll go over Amazon 4 hour for you, and then we'll go over, somebody wanted GBP. Yeah, we'll do GBP here. The pound against the dollar. Let's look at Amazon. Amazon 4 hour. All right. So 4 hour, definitely bullish on Amazon right now. Oh, Jacob, why are you bullish on Amazon? Well, we did set a new high. We are retracing a bit. You are getting a change character similar to this high that we did reject. We have rejected it, but we did break out, right? That could be a liquidity to send it lower, but for now, I would be bullish on it on the 4 hour. But again, I want a healthy retracement. The 50% level you can see is sitting at the bottom of that Neo cloud. It's a good level. That would be above these highs as well. So everything kind of lines up, right? If it makes sense, then it makes sense, guys. That's something that I like to suggest to you. If it makes sense, more than likely, it's going to play out in that way, right? Gold, yeah, we can look at gold again. We have a minute 59 though. Mickey, we'll bring Mickey in and he'll look at gold as well. But again, breaks out, right? If we get a healthy retracement and come back down here, I wouldn't consider a trade off of this level. I would consider that level as a potential support area. So we have a little bit of a range here to identify. But as that Neo holds strong as we're trading inside of it, if it comes back out, 153. Excuse me. 153 would be that level in which I would like to continue a breakout once we confirm a higher low, right? So this is, you know, once again, a longer swing in my opinion. But that's Amazon 4 hour. Definitely bullish on the Amazon 4 hour, especially above 150. So holds above 150, then I think we break and continue. GBP, yes. I know that was suggested quite a bit. That's something we will look at right now. 1 sec. Okay. All right, gents. GBP 4 hour. It is touching these lows after breaking back out. It's in a very tight range. If I see this range, right, I'm going to turn on something like the reversal zones in signals and overlays. Something that I would like to essentially trade, right? For now, because of these reversal zones, I want to see either there's two things that could happen. For one is bouncing off the same low that it's already bounced off twice, right? Or honestly, 3 times. But 1, 2 now. Bounce off of that. It set a lower high. So in this case, the other thing that lines up nicely is this low here. So if I were to mark off, obviously, this low, if I grab a little box, mark off this low, look where that lines up in the reversal zone. So if this thing extends into that area, into this reversal zone, I'm going to consider a long so long as it sets up properly because it's been ranging very well. Unless the structure wants to change, right? If the structure does want to change, essentially we need to see it break this low, which it fully hasn't yet, but break this low and then come up and then retest that low, show that it actually wants to have resistance on it. So if we like pull up the NEO instead, we could see that for now NEO is bearish. We want it to come back down. If I were to pull up the trend catcher, see where that's sitting too, sitting pretty sideways up there. So trend catcher is flat as well. If the trend catcher starts showing aggressive selling, essentially if you get an aggressive break through this, then I would consider a trend possibly forming similar to what you've seen. But because of this back and forth trading, I would be considering a range trade right now, which meaning if it extends to these lows and it shows support, something like that, a lot of price action trading on the 4 hour at one specific level, then I'm going to look for the upside. Okay. But for now, it's like we want to watch to see if that low breaks and then consider a short. The low hasn't fully broken yet, so pay attention to this low right now. Gold. I know gold said an AMD as well. That being said, my segment, well, I am going to bring in Mickey. I'll be here as well. And we'll go over some more charts, but let's break in Mickey, baby. My name's Jacob. I'm going to bring in Mickey there. So if you guys get confused on who's Mickey, who's Jacob, I'm Jacob. I need to probably put something below right here. But Mickey, are you there, my friend?
Yeah, I'm gonna put a post-it note that says my name, Mickey, here.
Mickey. All right, we're gonna jump over to our boy Mickey. So, how you been?
All right, how is everyone doing?
We're back at it, my friend.
Awesome.
To start us off, people have been asking gold, it seems. So maybe start us off with a little bit of gold. Let's touch on Bitcoin.
Okay.
And then if you want to do. If you want to do the
so,
wheel at some point, we can do that too. You just let me know.
No problem. So people want to talk about gold? Okay, let's talk about UJ.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go to gold here, okay?
Let's see it.
All right, you guys got my watch template. Okay, but here's gold, okay? I just pulled it up. You know, I gotta admit, I have not been watching this for the past week, but let's see what we have. And let's just see if we have a play or a trade, right? This is a 4 hour chart. This is what I do if I'm trying to convince myself, you know, to see if there's a setup somewhere, all right? From the looks of it, we have a little bit of an uptrend, okay? So that could be the bias, right? That could be the bias if this wasn't here. All right, I don't like that. All right, I don't like that, just to be honest with you. Okay, but let's just assume this is an uptrend. Okay, now we zoom in on the most recent price action. Is there a play for me? Okay, is there a play for me? Currently, we have a bearish change of structure to the downside. We have some fair value gaps, and we're in between some 4 hour order blocks. So if I'm assuming this is an uptrend, right, I am going to concentrate on the most recent change in structure to the upside, okay, which is this. Right.
My camera died, Mickey, so you take control for a minute.
Okay, no problem. All right, let me rewind. If I assume a symbol's in an uptrend, right, just by zooming out, let's just, for the sake of this example, uptrend, okay, uptrend. I zoom in to the most recent price action. I want to focus on the most recent structure change to the upside or a continuation for an entry, okay? We have a bearish structure change. I don't want that. We have a bullish structure change. I like this one. Okay, so a technique you could do is, I'm going to fib it. All right, I'm going to fib this to the long side. We go right here, right here. Okay, here is the candle. Induce the change of character. Okay, pivot low, pivot high. All right, now price is being retraced back to this golden pocket. Okay, this is my golden pocket in between 70 and 80%. Okay, we have confluence of an order block here. Okay, so this could be the play, right? Thank you for putting this on my watch list. This could be the play right here. Okay, so that is gold. That is gold on price action concepts, and this is how I use market structure. Very simplistic form. Okay, I don't put too much confusion. I just want to boil it down to a mechanical concept. Okay, I know there's a lot of SMC, ICT, or so many theories out there. Just pick one or two, and concentrate on that. Okay, for me, I love order blocks. Okay, and I love using fibs for confluence. Okay, so as of right now, I would be looking to enter into a trade on gold to the upside. Okay, because my bias is long, bullish. I want to take bull long moves. I'll pass on the bearish moves and I'll just concentrate on bulls. Okay, for bulls, I'm fibbing this structure, and here's my entry. That's on gold. Okay, it may or may not happen. Okay, but at least I have a plan. I have a plan of a target. My target is a 0% line right there of the fib. Okay, that's my target. Okay, that's the target. Here's my stop. The 100%. Okay, there you go. So here's my profit. Take profit. This whole area. Okay, I am buying at a discount. Anything below 50% is discount. I'm buying at a discount. Okay, and here's my stop loss. This order block, right? So just eyeballing it, this is a good risk to reward swing play, right? What do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like a 1 to 5. Okay, I'm just eyeballing. It looks like a 1 to 5. I could be wrong. Let's just measure this out here. This one. There we go. There we go. Okay, almost. Got to get it exact right. 4.7. Damn. There you go. Let's just say 1 to 5. Okay, so that's gold. BTC short term. Bitcoin. Okay. Let's go to Bitcoin here. All right. Short term as in 1 hour? 15 minutes? What are we looking at? Let me go over the 4 hour and I'll wait for your short term time frame, okay? Okay. Bitcoin, tough. All right, let me zoom out here. Zoom out. I already know my bias in Bitcoin. It's long, right? Because I'm hodling my ledger. I want this to go long. Okay, 4 hour. Okay, there's the 4 hour long. So what I'm doing is I am only looking for longs. I will avoid the dumps. Let it dump. Okay. Right now, price is looking to break to the upside. Okay, we are caught in a 4 hour order block on top of a daily order block, which is green. Okay, so this is what I want to see. Okay, that's my bias. Okay, that's my bias. Now, to validate this bias, we can bring in signals and overlays for those traders that love using those trend indicators. Okay, if we go over to signals and overlays, okay, the setup is not there yet. Okay, the setup is not there yet. And what you can do is I am going to overlay the same 4 hour order blocks and the same daily order blocks to the same chart. Okay. There you go. Okay. Here is the 4 hour order block. Okay. And this is the daily order block. that was on my white template, price action concepts. Okay. Take a look at the oscillator matrix. Turning up. Almost. It's almost busting out of this order block zone. Okay. Right here. Right. It's almost busting out. Okay. So
right,
what I like
I'm back.
to see,
Gotta work.
I know, right? What I like to see is Smart Trail flip and really confirm with signals and overlays candle color in green. Okay. I want to see that. Okay. And I want to see money flow going higher. All right. I want to see some confluence here. All right. I want to see money flow head higher. Okay. So the play is not there yet. And I want to see price bounce off of this neo cloud to the upside. All right. I want to see this. Okay. So that is how I read signals and overlays in conjunction with market structure, price action concepts. Okay. It's the same play, but just visually, you're looking at it in a different way. You're using different confluences. Okay. So with Bitcoin, I'm looking for a play right now. Okay. I am on high alert to enter right now. Okay. Take a look at this. Higher lows, higher highs, almost, right? Is that a higher high? Yeah, that's a higher high on these 4-hour order blocks. Okay. Let's see what else is next. I already did.
So we want AMD.
AMD. I think I got to add that to my list. Where's AMD? AMD. AMD. Guess I got to add that AMD. AMD.
AMD. I can look at AMD as well, but yeah, for now, go ahead. Look at it. I'm just gonna pull up some
AMD.
similar to.
I'm sorry, we can't look at AMD. It's not on the wheel.
It's not a wheel.
All right. AMD on my 4-hour chart. There's no play. The play happened at market open. Okay. I think there's some, yeah, right there. Okay. It busted out of this order block, right? Take a look at this, right? It's too late for me to enter if I wanted to play this, all right?
Holy crap.
What are you looking at?
Yeah, real quick, actually. Let me jump over. If you guys didn't notice this already, I mean, this has been out for a while, it seems, but the judge blocked the JetBlue Spirit merger. It's down 50% today. And I guess like heavy bearish flow, but look at the chart. Oh my gosh. Talk about like a, what do you even call these? Like this is like a freaking falling knife, whatever you call those. Like trading was halted due to the amount of selling happening on this. Sorry, it wasn't a long time ago. But you can see halt here down. Now it's down 48%. It hit a low of, this is wild. Where's my cursor? Hit a low of 62% roughly. That's insane. But save. Hopefully you guys got out of that. If anybody of you were long-term banking on the merger between JetBlue and them. I feel like JetBlue as well is probably down. JetBlue. JetBlue. Whoa. Wow. JetBlue's actually up 6% on that. That's wild. That's crazy. Dang. All right, Mickey, sorry. You going to
I'm looking at AMD here. All right. Getting back to AMD, where was the play? The play was actually at market open. This was a beautiful play, okay? Order block was formed right here, right? Price action bounced off this daily order block. heads back up to the 4-hour order block, rejects, okay, tags the fair value gap, right, busts through and creates a breaker block, okay. So that was the play for me on my 4-hour strategy, okay. There you go, okay. Now, if you use signals and overlays, I can use both, right? I think all last week I used signals and overlays, okay. Head over to signals and overlays. I didn't change the settings. This is the same 4-hour order block I've shown in Bitcoin, okay? So there you go. NeoCloud, bullish. We're only looking at long signals, okay? This is just a concept. You can build on top of this, right? So where is the play? Smart trail, flip to the upside. Winner, winner, chicken dinner at market open, okay? What other symbols we got? AMD. Okay. Let's head over to what I like to watch, okay? This is my watch list template, immediate, right? Every morning I scan, right? I'm gonna tell you how I scan, right? Let's just say I wake up and I'm looking at plays, meaning where is price? Is price near an order block? That's the only thing I'm concentrating on. Is price near or heading into an order block? And is there a play for me? Okay. From what I can see right now, if I woke up right now, I see two things. Okay, two symbols. I see NASDAQ. I see platinum. Okay, let's head over to NASDAQ. Let's enlarge that. Okay. For a scalp. For a scalp, because look at this play. Look at this play. Beautiful. This is any ICT or SMC concept, right? Everyone's learning right now. Break a structure. The candle that induced the structure breaks creates the fair value gap, thereby creating at the same time an order block. Okay? You could have took your trade in here. Okay? So that's NASI. Platinum. Zooming in.
Once again, he's back on the platty.
I know. Look at this, right? Come on.
Good structure, for sure.
The problem with platinum, where it's really not an easy futures symbol to get into, because the margins are a little bit more, right? A little bit more to day trade, right? I mean, look at this. Look at the structure breaks and the gaps and the retracement touching these gaps to the continuation. Love this. Look at this. Look at this recent one. Boom. Fair value gaps comes back down. Right. Gotta love platinum. Right. You're welcome, Jacob. Anyway. Okay.
What's up, Andre?
Any other crypto symbol? Sol. Someone said Sol. No.
Yeah. Sol's always good to go over.
Yeah. Did you go over Sol?
Yeah, early on though, but touch on it again because it's probably.
All right, let's see what I see on Sol. All right. It's looking kind of nasty, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of stabilized right now.
Let me look at both charts. I like looking at both.
I'll take a look here at oil.
Yeah.
Nathan is.
Yeah, I need to look at both charts to give me a bias here. Yeah, I'm going short on Sol right now. Because of this, right? All right, that. I mean, it's an obvious bearish move we got here, right? I'm looking at that. So based on this chart, is there a play for me to go to the downside, you know, Could be, you know. I want to see some structure form right here, you know. I could fib this to this, right? Have some entry up here to go down, right? Let's just say early in the week, you know, we could have done this, you know, right there. There's your entry, right? The stop's at the 100, okay? Target's at the 0, okay? You entered somewhere here, right, on a lower time frame, and you're still in the play, okay? So that's on Sol. I'm looking for shorts on Sol, okay? So that's the play. Even if you were here last week, right? Take the high, take the low, okay? Your entry would have been somewhere here, and you would have been chopping around to the downside. At least you're in the right direction, okay? I'm not making this stuff up. I just put the chart on right now, right? Because why? Obvious downtrend. So I'm looking to continue that down bearish move until it's not bearish anymore, right? If you take every single signal in every setup, you know, eventually you're going to get a losing setup, which is the change of direction, right? But we don't know you know, when that occurs, you know. So we have to trade manage this, you know, once we take the losing trade, right? Absolutely. You took a few winning trades, 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't know about this one. This could be the change, high or low. This could be the change. We don't know unless we enter and trade manage this, okay? So that's sold for you, okay? And the signals and overlays validates my reasoning for taking a short, okay? Take a look at these lower high signals. And now NeoCloud's flipping short side. Look at money flow. Look at money flow and look at turning points. Turning points, it's getting lower, lower. Okay, so that's how I read both charts to validate some kind of an entry. Okay. Oil, damn. How do I not talk about oil? Yeah. Let me take a look at oil here. Let me zoom out. It's choppy. We're in a range, but
yeah, this range is interesting. I really like longs in this range, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still projected that Q1's going to have less production, but this year we're projected that it's going to be a lot higher production on the oil front. So it's definitely a conflicting price at the moment. The 70 range. But I really think we can hit mid 70s again pretty soon. I don't know. It's tough.
That's what I see on oil right now. Okay, it was bearish, but take a look at the price. All right. So just based on that, it's not high tech stuff. I want some longs. Do I have an excuse to take a long? All right. Where's my excuse to take a long? Here we go. I'm looking, remember what I said, I'm looking for longs, right? I want to see the most recent long structure. Even though the most recent one could be a bearish, right? I'm going to avoid that. I'm going to keep on going to the left and look for a bullish structure. Just so happens we have bullish structures, right? What I could do...
That reject on that. Fair value gap. Insane.
What I could do is that, right? Something like that. You're entering right here. Something like this to go to the upside. Okay, I'm just eyeballing it. I have not really studied it, right? So, is there any confluence in here in my golden pocket fib, right? For me to go long, could be. Here's this gap. Right,
we'll do Ethereum next.
You know, here's that gap. It's not filled yet, but let's just say all intents and purposes it's filled. Right now, I hit this big gap. Now it's coming back down. So if I was in a trade here, fibbing going long, think twice about exiting at this gap. Okay, so that's how you trade manage. I want long. but I'm heading into a fair value gap. Now you have a small target. Your trade management is close out. And what you could do is wait for this. Okay? You could do that. Okay? ETH.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up ETH real quick here.
You're going to pull up ETH too? Yeah, go to your chart and
go ahead and get something set up on you. But yeah, Ethereum, we were talking about this before. Would really like the daily chart on Ethereum. I mean, you can see how well the structure is performing. Lovely support over previous highs, back and forth. Now you can see yet again today another great support hold over these previous highs. We really have, or in my opinion, I have a strong feeling 3K is a potential target in the next few weeks. If we go to the weekly chart, that is not a W. We have the weekly chart. We had that long wick, obviously, with the ETFs, and now we're pending Ethereum ETF news as well. So with all that in play, if you compare ETH to Bitcoin, you can see here Bitcoin reached that previous lower high that happened, and it showed that reject on the weekly. On Ethereum, though, look, same lower high that happened back in April. It's not even close. So 3K mark, obviously, it's going to be a super psychological level. It's treating right now these lows, right? It's treating these lows as resistance, and which is why I think this breakout could occur even more, is because it's not fully treated that as resistance just yet. It broke through it pretty easily. And so hopefully, Benji, what's up, buddy? Hopefully we can get through that on Ethereum. But daily chart, again, if we hold through, hold above this Neo, this bullish Neo, we have a nice bullish trend catcher, sitting there. Got that break structure on the bull side. Bull case super strong. If we even go to the 4 hour, like we've talked about already, we said, okay, we had a pretty aggressive bull flag forming as well. You got lower lows, lower highs, and now we're starting to break out of that. So if this gets through, let's just say 2600, we get a 2600 break again, I really think we're at least going to retest these highs. If not, have a really nice breakout through that. Yeah, ETH has been fantastic. Probably my favorite crypto right now after the whole Bitcoin run. Someone asked, Mickey, is it possible to guide your settings or should use default for signals and overlays and PAC? And if you join the Jeremiah, if you join the Discord, he does have a template that you can download. You can kind of tell him where that is.
Sure. Yeah.
Mickey, but what do you see on Ethereum with your setup?
Ethereum. Okay. I mean, of course. I mean, Ethereum, Bitcoin. I'm looking to go longs, right? But if I'm going to swing this, and I want to look for longs, right? We have some change in structure to the bearish side. So remember what I said. I want to concentrate on the most recent structure to the long side and fib this entry, okay? Because I want to go long, right? So let's zoom in here. We have a Chach and a boss, right? I'm going to use the boss, right? Let's fib this to that fractal, right? This one's a long one. And let's just say I woke up today, you have all this price action. I'm going to go to the highest one, okay, which is that one, okay? Right there. So where could my entry be, right? Prices over here hit the 50% line. Should I go? Should I enter in? Not really, because it's really not at a real discount level. I want to buy low. I want to buy as low as possible, right? So what else do I see below the 50? I see a breaker, right? I see a breaker here. That could be an entry point to go long, or I could see a fair value gap here, right? Fair value gap is at the 80% fib level, right? Take a look at this. This is called patience. It may or may not happen. And if it doesn't happen, you may have wasted your time waiting, but you would have been safe. Why? Because take a look at your risk to reward, right? If this price heads down to the 80% level, right? And there's my target, right? So your risk is this, from 80 to 100%. Your reward is to 80 to 0%. I'm going to eyeball this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, about 1 to 4. Okay? That is the reward to a small risk. Okay? I have a fair value gap within my golden pocket. Okay? So that's how I play ETH if I was looking to go long, right? But on that same analysis, I can go short, right? I can convince myself to look for a short. Okay. Looking for a short, I want to look at the most recent structure bearish change to the short side. Okay. If I wanted to go short, we have a boss and we have a charge. Let's take a look. Let's use this most recent boss, the break. Fib the high, fib the low. Okay. Elongate that. There you go. I would be entering the short right here. I'd be fading this. Why? Because the 80% level is at the order block, 4-hour order block, right? And what I hope, I can't say what it's going to do. I hope this would be the play if I was looking for a short. Another good risk to reward. If I'm entering at the 80% line, which is at the price action concepts order block, right? The risk is here. Small risk. Where's the reward? Here's the reward. Okay. What is this? There you go. Okay. That's bracketing the trade right there. Okay. Pretty good. Okay.
Not too shabby.
Yeah. So here's the thing. There's no right or wrong answer, right? Whether you go long or short. Everyone reads the charts differently, but you got to manage your trade just in case it goes against you. Okay. So in this example on ETH, I showed you how I would go long, and I also showed you how I would go short. Both scenarios gave me a beautiful risk to reward, at least 1 to 4, 1 to 5. Okay. Any other symbols?
Oh, I'm gonna pull up. We posted just a chart here on Google.
Google
trade stocks.
Okay,
Again, guys,
Google.
if you're not following our Twitter, make sure to go follow it. It's at LuxAlgo. The link's also in the description of the live stream. We post different charts we're watching, different stocks, cryptos, sometimes Forex we post, but you'll notice that we post quite a bit each day to kind of keep you in line with what's going on, right? So, and you'll see we update you based on what we saw before, like the AMD chart here, where you're looking for that, break 150 and a breakout, and look what happened. We had a nice break on that 150 and it broke. In this case, yeah, here you go. We have the chart difference. This is why we post them, to make sure you guys are updated. We posted this on January 11th, right? We wanted to see the breakthrough 150 and then get up to the 155s, right? Top of that range. Look what happened today. We had that massive spike on AMD from the 150s to the 160s nearly. So, guys, I would highly suggest following the Twitter. It is in the description of this live stream. We post our analysis there every single day on multiple different charts like Link and NVIDIA and whatever we're seeing setting up, right? So in this case, right now, we have a setup on Google. We're watching right off the 142 level there. If I were to pull it into my chart specifically, here's the 4-hour, and it's a little different, obviously, than this chart setup because it's a little more simplistic. But you can see here, it was rejecting a current pattern at the top of its range, and it's also showing that it broke out on that daily chart. If we were to pull it into my chart, right, bullish sentiment very strong on Google in this state, because holding strongly above the Neo, you got that nice trend catcher there, also acting as support. If we pull up that daily chart as well, you can see here retracing, trying to hold against the highs here too. So if price holds over what we stated here, 142, you can see this range. If price holds over this range here, we do think the 146 would end up hitting, which makes a lot of sense. Also, we would take out this order block and go retest these highs. If I were to actually add, more order blocks, you'll probably see some other targets we could take into account. But for now, it's that hold over the 140s as we showed, or sorry, the 142 level as we showed here in this 4-hour range we had. And if I were to, want to pull up these similar features, essentially all that is I'm going to take off signals and overlays. This is the new pattern, show pattern zones in the current update that we released today of 1.5, right? And you can see here, if I wanted a longer term pattern, in which I'm pretty sure that's what we had posted, is there you go. We're currently trying to bounce and reject within this range. So I don't think this is the 4-hour though, but again, the similar pattern, you can see it based on this overall move here. What we're looking at for support coming off of that previous high to kind of go and break out. That was also posted later, so due to this price action, the pattern could adjust it a bit, but same kind of idea around Google. So again, go check out our Twitter at LuxAlgo for current market updates to make sure you're continuing to stay updated. And as you can see, like with AMD, very nice breakout on that, which is awesome. He said, sometimes price doesn't retest at FEGs, rather just upward. Should we still go for an entry? It depends. Fair value gaps, usually the idea around them, any imbalance, they are imbalances in the market, right? Liquidity is going to be left over at that level. So essentially, price always wants to move to liquidity. They always have to go find liquidity in order to make certain market moves. And so that's why people treat fair value gaps as sense of entry point, because if price goes and collects liquidity at those imbalances, it can then use it to continue in a trend or break out, whatever you want to, depending on what kind of setup you have. But in this case, yes, price won't always go back to liquidity immediately, but usually eventually it will. And that's something that you just kind of got to see what it shows you, right? So I would just suggest being patient, waiting, because that is pretty much the biggest part of trading, is being patient and waiting. So yeah, Mickey, we got about 23 minutes here with you. Is there anything that you specifically want to look at, or does anybody else want to give us a suggestion on what to look at? But I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
my YouTube chat stalled, but let me know what everyone's posting. But let me go over Google right here, okay? Real quick, okay? Zooming out, uptrend, right? Let's look for a trade to the long side, okay? As of right now, the trade is playing out, right? I am seeing this change in structure to the upside. Okay, so again, let's fit this. Pivot low, pivot high. Okay, right there. Extended here visually for you folks. Okay, what do I see in my golden pockets? Right, we have a breaker block. But we also have some fair value gaps.
Absolutely, Brad.
Okay, so what is more important? I don't know, but let's do this. Well, why can't we do this? Okay, how's that? Below the 50 discount, it's okay, right? But we do have a breaker block. Okay, how do I confirm this move? Well, let's go over to signals and overlays. This is the same chart. I have not changed the settings. I've not backfitted for Google. It's the same 4-hour chart. Okay, this is what I want to see on signals and overlays. Okay, look at money flow turning bullish. I want to, as Jacob said, I want to see a retest. Hyperwave, okay, going up. I want to see that, okay. Actually, it's kind of like this, okay. I want to see that. At the same time, I want to see Smart Trail turn bearish, and I want to see a flip back to the upside. Okay, so that is Google on both charts. Okay, it's the same play, but you're reading it different depending on which chart I'm looking at. So this is the signals and overlays. Okay, and this is price action concepts. All right, it's the same exact play. You're just reading it a little bit differently. You're validating with different features. Okay, the euro. Okay.
Euro USD, yeah, that was suggested.
I thought you went over that. No, let's
I
go
did,
over it.
but I mean,
Okay, let's go.
You can go over it again.
Yuck. Well, I mean, this is nice, right? Well, all right. This is what we're gonna do. We were in an uptrend. We were in an uptrend. What do I see blaring at me? Head and shoulders. Okay, let's just say I believe in head and shoulders. Okay, which means I'm looking for a short trade. Okay, so if I'm looking for a short trade, what is the most recent structure change to the downside? We got one right here. Okay, got one right here. So let's just quickly fib this sucker. All right, here is the candle that induced the change, right? We take the high, pivot high. Guess what? I can't bracket this yet. I can't bracket it. I need a retracement so I can bracket this trade, all right? Let's just say, all intensive purposes, let's just pretend that price, you know, did this. Okay. Let's just say price did this, and we have a pivot right here. Okay, so this is how I would bracket. Here's a change of character to the downside, right? Here's the candle that induced it. I want to look at the most recent fractal high of this change. All right, which is that one. Okay.
Yeah, we can take a look at OP and AVAX next.
Yeah.
Avalanche.
Look at that. Beautiful. Where's my golden pocket? Where are the order blocks? So I see, and where's the fair value gaps? Right there. All right. So I could be looking at a play to the right there. Okay. For target at 0%, right? If you want to trail it, there's your next target, right? But I would just go for the 0 right there. Okay. The risk to reward is still greater than 1-to-1. How do I know that? By eyeballing, not calculating. Because I'm taking an entry above the 50% line. If I took it at the 50% line, the risk to reward is 1-to-1, right? As long as I'm taking it above the 50, you know, it's greater than 1-to-1. I would love to have it hit at 80. I don't know. It could, but that's how I quickly read my risk to reward. Okay. Next one, AVAX.
Now let's look at
okay, you
OP.
You want OP?
Look at OP. I'll pull it up here first, kind of look at it.
Okay.
So optimism, obviously, so it got pumped recently, but I do like this because there's enough data to actually analyze. Especially on Coinbase here. On this, let me double check something. Yeah.
You got Coinbase one, right? Coinbase.
Yes. 2 seconds, guys. I was gonna double check on Is it because of BitMEX? I was trying to see what the news fully was on this before fully going into it. But in this current state, it's not bad. We're consolidating, which is good. Consolidating at these levels can always be a strong spot to consider that price actually wants to be valued at here. So for now, we broke recently, actually, beginning of last year, which is interesting, had its pump as well. So it had the same pump beginning of last year, except at that point it hit the highs of the $3.27. In this case, up there, that's good. That we see now we've broken through that level, and price has confirmed that this level does currently want to hold. Sadly, it is struggling around $4. But in this case, looking at like a weekly chart, there you go, bouncing directly off of that previous high that happened exactly a year ago. Now, we did set a new high here on Coinbase. If I were to pull this up on Binance, we could see, yep, also did, but probably, was it Bybit probably has more data? No, it doesn't. Okay, cool. So seeing this on Coinbase, really good. OPSD breaking out of that previous move once it got listed on Coinbase off this level. Finally seeing some strong bullish candles on a weekly chart, which is really good. In this case, for now on a daily, right, holding this bullish Neo, which you like to see, we still got the catcher holding green. We just now on a 4-hour are continuing to trade in this range. In this case, if we're in consolidation, if I want to trade something like this, I usually would pull up like a reversal zone, kind of see where we're at in this state. As you can see here, when extended came out, higher low, extended came out, and then finally showed consolidation before heading back down. But notice the reversal zones are actually sitting pretty well up here as well as it continues to trade off this trend. So downside target for now would be roughly $3, where it's bounced off before, to see if we can continue from the $3 level. You're about 50% between this range. So right now, it's not a great spot to be, considering any trades. If we go to the 1 hour or like a lower time frame, you can just see the chop, pretty choppy in my opinion right now. But you do have some imbalance and would need to be filled here from 341 down to 320. So about a 20-cent move that occurred when it got pumped there. That could get filled because there's probably leftover orders sitting there. But again, that's all part of this range. So value $3 is really strong. If you're below $3 and you're in this, it's definitely a hold at this moment. 4 hour one more time. I do want to pull back up the Neo Cloud. See this again. Neo Cloud hasn't fully stepped down yet, which is a good sign. It is trading below it, which I'm not a big fan of. So that's why I think you could get that 20-cent retrace down to $3.20. But for now, Mickey, what do you see on Optimism Coinbase chart? Do you have that one up?
Yeah, I'm not too optimistic. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, it's an interesting little range here. It's definitely holding, but short term I'm not very bullish on, but for the daily, definitely a little stronger than it looks on a lower time frame.
All right, let me take a look at your daily. Yeah, I mean daily. I mean there's no case to the downside yet, right?
Right.
But
Exactly.
let's go 4 hour. I mean, you're saying, okay, I'm going to use you as a bias. So you're saying that bearish short term, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
More bearish short term. It did say, daily I like bullish. It's like it's kind of up in the air.
Okay. So the point is, you said bearish.
Yes.
I did not analyze it. Someone told me bearish. Okay. Let me look for a short play. Let me find a reason to go short. If I can't find a reason, I got to sit on my hands and wait for the short play to materialize. Okay. So if someone's telling me bearish and I didn't look at the chart, I didn't look at all this stuff, right? How do I go bearish? Okay. I need to look at the most recent structure break to the downside or a continuation. Just so happens we have a Chosh bearish. I'm going to use this. Okay. So here's the candle that induced it. Okay. Here is higher high, pivot fractal high. but there is no retracement yet on this 4-hour. Didn't print, okay? So this could be the play, okay? Let's just say, I don't know, I mean, let's just say it came down to here, okay? Price came down to here and it retraced back up. So how do I go short? All right, here's my golden pockets, okay? 50 to 70. We have an order block here, okay? So somewhere here, there you go, okay? So somewhere here I'm entering, hopefully. If this bounces up, I'm gonna bracket somewhere here, right? I'm gonna fade the entry somewhere around here, okay? So my risk to reward is still greater than 1-to-1, okay? So that's short-term bearish because Jacob told me to go bearish, right? So that's bearish.
Yeah, bearish.
All right, but let's just say that Jacob said longs. Okay, where's my long play?
On the daily, dude.
You want me to do daily long term? We'll do daily.
No.
Yeah,
I was
let's
saying
do
I like
daily, man.
longs on the daily.
I'd have to have some big stomach for this one. Oh boy.
I like
daily,
longs on the daily. That's
yeah,
for
for daily, we're gonna have to be waiting. I mean, this because this is what I see right now. Right there to right there, right? Yes, price hit your 50%, but that risk to reward is still 1-to-1. You know, you came close to your target. You know, maybe I wouldn't have taken it. There's no. I'm going to be honest with you. I probably would not take this. But if price came down to here, then bounced up, yeah, that could be the play. If we're continuing this long, right here, look, if we're continuing this long, okay, I want to take an entry somewhere here, right, below or bouncing off this breaker block at these fair value gaps below the 50% equilibrium. I'm at a discount, off to the races, okay? So that's OP on the daily, okay?
All right, take a look at AVAX now. Similar to Solana, right? So Solana's trading, you know, off that high move. AVAX, Avalanche, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, it is Avalanche, but similar, you know, pattern in this sense. I'm gonna add it actually, so I'll have to keep going back and forth. There you go. Bring up actually Solana. Boom. All right. So Avalanche, obviously, very similar. In this case, if we were to compare the two, you can see the range was a little tighter on Solana versus Avalanche here. Because you got a little bit better higher lows on Avalanche, but the idea here is it broke out and it failed, right? Failed to actually go up and retest its recent lower high, which is that bearish swing point we were talking about. In this case, rejected, came off of that. So we're showing support in the 35s right now, which is good. I bearish on the 4-hour. Honestly, like I in this case, it failed, right? Rejecting somewhere here, short off the 36 would probably be my trade down to trade these lows to lower 30s again, for the, you know, the current state that it's in. But in this case, what's kind of throwing me off though is this low. Notice it's still a higher low in this current up move, but the big reason I would be short is some nice stepping down of the Neo. But you can see it did try to step back here, but failed. So if this were to step back down and have a nice sell-off through the 34s, then it's probably going to be a nice move from 34 down to, you know, 31, 32. In this case, this is the 4-hour chart though. If we pull up the daily, like Solana, I've liked for quite a while, because it needed a healthy kind of, you know, reset. You can notice the money flow fell off quite aggressively from that high. It's turned into bearish money flow. This is another reason why I do like it a little more bearish, is because we do have a bearish turning point. Notice all the lows were trending up in that current state from when it went from down here, all trending up for this big move. Now the highs are trending down. So in this case, definitely more of a bearish sentiment on the daily. And I mean, if we were to look at the oscillator on a 4-hour, you know, we could see here the lows are coming up quite a bit. We do have bearish money flow though. So seeing the highs going up as well, this could indicate, you know, a little bit of a wedge range too. So it could be trying to break out of that and then continue lower. This is why I'm thinking, you know, your best bet, if it breaks 34, you go short to 32s. If it breaks back over 38, you go long to like 40s and then break out to this upper order block of 42. So not, you know, not a terrible chart, but again, you know, I personally don't fight the trend when it comes to this sort of price action. But Mickey, what do you see?
Oh, I see some good stuff with AWACS. All right, here's my AWACS chart. What is that, Mickey? I don't know. Tips and tricks, right? Based on this chart, right? I'm looking for short plays. Okay.
Shorty?
Yeah, I'm looking for short plays. Okay. Take a look at this chart. Neat little chart. Okay. I will go over this template setup in the live sessions in Discord shortly, sometime in the near future. Okay. But this is what I'm looking at. Okay. I have NeoCloud. Okay. NeoCloud. I have Trend Tracer. Okay. Different settings. Okay. And I have confluence zones only on the matrix. Right? How do I trade this?
Where do I go?
How do I trade this? Okay. Take a look at the confluence zones. We have a solid red. Okay. And we have some blotches of green. All right. I'm going to talk real simple here. All right. Once you have a blotch of green inside a solid continuous red, we wait till the green disappears, and that is your entry for a scalp. Okay, but you need to look at the main chart. Okay, for some confluence. So right now I'm looking for shorts. I'm looking for shorts for AVAX.
He's a shorty.
Let's just say I took a short somewhere here. Okay, it's a safe short. You're on the right side of the trade, but why is it chopping around? Why? I'll tell you why. Take a look at the NeoCloud. Flat. You know, you remember when Jacob went over his setups, you know, when it's flat or is it steep? Right now it's flat. It's ranging up and down, up and down. What you could also do is, why is it not breaking this level? Add some levels. Here's your 4 hours, right? It's trying to break this to make this into a breaker block. All right, it's caught in between the Neo and the 4 hour. All right, you want some more validation why this is not busting down? Add the daily. Take a look at that. All right, this is why it's inside the daily order block. And you have some 4 hour order blocks inside the daily. So this is a tough level to crack. Okay. So this is what I want to see. I want to see something like this. Okay. There we go for AWACS. If I was looking for short. If Jacob told me to look for short, that's what I'm looking at. Okay. But if Jacob tells me to look for a long, this is what I'm looking at. Okay. It needs to be somewhere here. Okay. I need price to bounce up from NeoCloud, trend tracer, going long. Okay. I don't have daily order blocks. Look at blue sky, right? Look at the blue sky up to that daily order block. This is the play to go for. Okay.
Beautiful.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
We got about 2 minutes left, guys. So, gonna do something fun here with Mickey. We're gonna bring in the
the wheel.
The wheel of analysis here. Everybody, we're gonna do. Wait, what? You call live forever when Jacob something? I can't read that part. Oh wait, there you go. Jacob touches you. Okay, interesting. I don't know what that means. In this case, guys, all right, everybody drop your suggestion in the chat for our very last analysis. I'm going to put them on the board, and whichever one it lands on will be our very last coverage as we end the stream here. Throw them in the chat. What do you guys want to see? I'll give you about 2-3 minutes to tell us your last bit of tickers here. We got oil, NG, and then we'll be back, obviously, guys, on Thursday at 1 Eastern. I know somebody said earlier to Matic. We'll put Matic on there. All right. All right, Mickey. You read them off to me. We got NG, right?
NG. What is CHZ?
What do you mean CHZ? Oh, Unity.
Unity. RNDR.
RND.
Come on, folks. Put in chat.
Terrible writing, by the way. Don't judge the writing.
Give us some symbols that we know. What else we got?
Chili's link. We do link.
All right, we don't have ETH. Put ETH.
More spots. ETH.
Just write them in.
Bitcoin. Yeah.
Again, Bitcoin.
Wait,
anything
he
different?
wants Bitcoin. Hold on.
Bitcoin D. ADA.
Bitcoin
Matic.
D is the dominance chart. We could do that too. ADA. We got Matic on there.
Matic.
Yeah, we got Matic on there. ADA. He wants Bitcoin dominance, which is fine. We can do that. Terrible writing. Jesus. This is Bitcoin.c.
Two more spots.
Unibot. Crude oil. Did I even put crude oil on there? I didn't. Crude oil.
Add it in there. Crude.
We got one more spot. Last spot. Let's see. Bonk. I'll put bonk in there.
We did bonk, right? The other day. One more good one. One more good one.
We're in. We got him down.
All right, we're done.
All right, guys. We appreciate you being a part of the stream, guys, and tuning in. And hopefully this new wheel thing has been a fun little aspect to how we're going to do this. Obviously, we're going to be back live on Thursday, so tune in. Same time. Is 1 p.m. Eastern. Be live for another 2 hours. Now, we will come back with more stuff to do that's fun. And make sure that, we give you the best analysis we can. But again, if you want daily analysis similar to what we're doing, that's, a little bit more advanced, something you can study into, go to our Twitter at LuxAlgo and follow us. We post daily analysis on several different assets, crypto, stocks, sometimes, futures with gold and oil, stuff like that. If we see some type of setup, like we talked about a minute ago, we saw that AMD, we were looking for a play through 150 up to the 155s. Today had a massive spike. We posted this on January 11th, right? AMD about to take off. Well, guess what? Took off. Great reason why you should follow our Twitter to see our daily analysis on there. Otherwise, we are live on YouTube Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 Eastern. So we'll see you guys on Thursdays. Let's see what we're going to analyze last. We'll give few big spins here. This is the last one. Matic. Wow. Okay. I'm surprised that actually hit. That's awesome. Okay. Matic will be our last one. Cool. Actually, this is a fun one to look at. Matic is our last analysis, and we will see you guys on Thursday and do this yet again. But we do appreciate you all being here. And thanks for tuning in. Okay, Matic, what are we looking at here? I'll start with my chart there, Mickey. And I'm going to go ahead and we'll do a full, more in-depth analysis on this than anything. Okay, so Matic chart. In this case, right, we are in a conflicting range, especially on the weekly. We did have a bullish change character, as you can see now, but we had a little bit of struggle coming out of that bullish change character. We don't necessarily have a higher low that is formed yet, but this support here that happened back in 22 is starting to continue to show that support. So it seems like a good level if you're holding Matic would be around the 75-cent level. So honestly, if you are in this below 80 cents, I would pretty much hold on tight. Seems like it's a great price, especially from its ICO. Now this is on Coinbase. So yeah, this is on Coinbase. So it could have been at a different price. But if you're below 80 cents on this and you're in it, I would hold on tight. As you can see, we did have a current breakout, but price is still holding pretty well. If I were to go into, let's just go to the daily now. We're going to the daily. I like it a little bit more. I'm going to take off the Neo Cloud, and we can kind of look at this. Look, you are setting higher lows. Yes, all the way up here. The trend is still bullish in my opinion. That's why I was saying, if you're below, below 80s, probably a good price point. If you're trading ranges, right? Like the reversal zones, a great example here. Here you go. It's a good reason why the reversal zones are great to have. You wait until price exits out of the reversal zones to consider shorts or longs, right? In this case, exited here, had a nice short to the downside to kind of fill these imbalances that got pushed the price through the 80s and 90s. Went up, retested the reversal zone again, lower high, came back down. So now we're trying to show support here yet again in the 77s. This is why I was saying, if you're below 80 or even below 70s, great value, because even if it comes back down here, more than likely it's going to retrace back into the 80s yet again. But even on that weekly chart, it looks super strong in its current state. Let's see if it's in any current patterns with our new pattern feature that we released today, which is the pattern zones, which is a really cool thing. Can kind of help you determine which way we might be heading next. As you can see in this case, this daily pattern, if you need to know what it is, you can go up to the top. It says ascending broadening wedge, which is a bearish reversal pattern, right? So if a downside breakout were to occur, right, then you probably would see probably retest order block or something. But again, based on the weekly, the reason why I think this range is of great value is just based on the amount of volume that's come and it's shown that support. So anywhere below 80, as you can see, bounce here, hit a low there of 60 something, found support around 75. Anywhere below 80 for the long term, great hold on Matic. If we were to, yet again, let's go to the 4-hour chart now. See if we have any patterns here. And look, now we have what you call it, conflicting. We have conflicting patterns between a 4-hour and a daily. Now this is then when you see these conflicting patterns, and you means pretty much that you were in a pretty decent range, right? So in this case, this is the opposite of what we saw, and it's a bullish broadening wedge. So in this case, we want to see that structure break. So taking that in consideration, breaking over 95s would be great, but again, we could come back down, retest those 70s, and I think in anywhere in the 70s, great value on Matic. So if you are holding there, hold on tight. If we were to just pull up like our trend following tools, which is the signals and overlays, I'm going to pull up the Neo one more time here, and this is the 4-hour. This is good to see. This means that the trend is exhausted, right? Look how thick the Neo cloud was in this case. Then it came out, and then look, there's literally no Neo cloud. It's a very thin line. This means that it is currently ranging. It doesn't really know where it wants to go, and why, again, I state around the 80s or sub 80s, great value to be holding. But for now, looks good. Short term, I would say, breaking out of 95 cents, would consider a long bullish run. I would say I would be a little bit more skeptical if it gets through 88. But I would lean more bullish in that case for now. Short term though, we are on a daily at almost the bottom of this range. So if it were to retest bottom of the range, I would say 80s. If not, very bullish above 95. Very bullish above 95 on Matic. So Mickey, what you got for us as well?
Matic, this is what I got. All right, here we go. I love simplistic terms right here, right? If I'm going bullish, because I just heard, Jacob bullish, right? So I trust his analysis more than me, because I just like looking at lines and colors, right? So bullish, the most recent structure is a structure break to the upside. I don't care about these downsides. These down breaks are indicative of a pullback, right? So here is the most structure break to the upside. Let's fib this real quick. Low to the high. That's the high. Okay, let's extend this right out there. Okay, there you go. What's below the 50% mark? We got the breaker block, which is at the 70%, which is good. This is good. I you know what? I would look at going long right here on the 4 hour. But please note this is a 4 hour. You could be sitting here for days doing nothing. Okay, but I would go long. What other confluence? I mean, let's take a look at what do I like? I like liquidity trend lines. Let's add that. Let's see. Oh, guess what, Jacob?
What?
I'm getting ready. Getting ready.
Yeah.
We have a downtrend on a bearish liquidity trend line. Okay. So the break, if we get the break, a solid break, okay, it is below the 50% line. It is at bouncing away from this breaker block. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. If this happens, I don't know. There we go. Okay. So that's price action concept. Let's take a look at signals and overlays. Okay. If I'm looking to go long, okay, I would have to wait for this move, right? I would need to see a flip. Okay. That's what I need to see. Okay. I need to see a flip. Retest, flip off the Neo Cloud. I want to see Star Trail, flip to bullish, and off to the races we go. Okay. Let's add in our order blocks. Do we have any confluence? Maybe, maybe not. Okay. Here's the breaker that we were talking about. Okay. If this holds, we're going higher. Right? Just like Jacob says, you know, anything above 90, good, hold it. Okay. So that's my take on Matic. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Mickey, thanks for being here yet again. Mickey is our community manager, so make sure to join the Discord link in the description of this live stream. It is completely free. Yes, the Discord is completely free, so feel free to join it, and you'll see Mickey in there to answer any questions you may have. But again, we're live Tuesdays and Thursdays. Mickey's always going to be with us. And if you come from the Discord, well, we appreciate it. If you guys are, you know, subscribers, we also appreciate it. We hit the day at 146 likes, so hit that 100 like goal. Maybe at some point that 200 like goal will show its head. So hopefully we get there at some point. But Mickey, thanks again, and we'll see you on Thursday.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, the wheel is well, actually, you're getting a little sun on my screen over there, but in this case, hold on one second.
Okay, what is that? Is that like a virus?
It's from the sun. The sun's peeking through my window.
It actually fits with your Bitcoin screen.
Right, it does. There you go. But Mickey, thank you, sir. I will see you soon. Yeah, guys. Thanks for tuning in yet again. Sorry, double checking what we got going on here. Where'd I put? I don't know why this isn't. Oh, I see. I was gonna pull that back up. But yeah, so coming into the end of the week here, we're gonna take a quick look at the news one more time, so you're just up to date. Obviously, today we had a Fed speaking. Tomorrow we have core retail sales at 8:30, so just pay attention to that, and then also just regular retail sales as well. They're projected, just a 0.1% beat on that. Core retail sales projected the same. Pay attention to those numbers. Could manipulate a little bit what's going on. And then going into Thursday, we have the Fed Manufacturing Index out of Philadelphia and jobless claims, both 8:30. Crude oil as well for those of you that are trading crude oil. Do you think production on crude oil is it's not gonna be up to par in quarter one, what people are predicting? So we'll see how price reacts to crude oil on that. And then we have obviously existing home sales on Friday, so pay attention to the existing home sales. Overall on the news front, nothing too major. Obviously Bitcoin's still down from those highs with the ETF, but something just to remember and pay attention to. But guys, been live about 2 hours and 30 minutes nearly. Again, every Tuesday, Thursday, we're live. So feel free to come back. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also hit the like. We will bring back, obviously, the wheel of analysis and keep it adding additional fun things for you guys to, tune in and want to be involved. So we appreciate you posting the tickers you do want to see. If you like the indicators we used today, they're all in the description of the live stream. Feel free to check it out on the website. You get 30 days risk free, as well as the free Discord. You can hang out with me and Mickey in there. Mostly Mickey's our community manager, so that's pretty much what he does is manage that Discord and answer any questions you guys might have. So feel free to chat with Mickey in there. Other than that, I guess we will see you on Thursday. Have a great hump day tomorrow, and come Thursday, hopefully we see some decent price action out of the crypto market, but it's been pretty aggressive on these moves, which is quite insane. So ending today, remember, last but not least, actually, let's see this real fast. We can double check on this for you guys that are here for the crypto front. Remember, it's a big reminder, okay? Big reminder. We have the halving in 92 days, rough estimate, right? April 20 is the estimated date, okay? So April 20th, stay tuned for the halving potentially occurring there, and we'll continue to keep track of it as we continue to live stream. In this case, definitely going to be sometime in April, and we want to see what kind of percentage Bitcoin is up from there, see if it's following the right pattern. And we'll follow that very closely. And that's something you can also follow closely with us on our Twitter at LuxAlgo. We're constantly posting updates on there. That's also in the description. Or just search LuxAlgo on Twitter. So I'm going to leave you with that. Hopefully we get a nice pump by the end of 2024. Maybe see, who knows, 200,000. At least 100,000, right? We want to see something major coming out of the halving for sure. But guys, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on Thursday at 1 Eastern. And have a good hump day, and see you Thursday. Bye.